Preface of Practical Instruction for Detectives. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Fiddlesticks. Practical Instruction for Detectives by Emmerson W. Manning. Preface. Having been connected for many years with two of the largest and most successful private detective agencies in this country, both as an operator and as an official, and having been requested to outline briefly and concisely the most modern and up-to-date methods employed by leading detectives and private detective agencies of today, I shall confine myself in these pages to facts and a few personal experiences. I will endeavor to show that any person possessed of average intelligence and who will use good common sense can become a successful detective, regardless of his present or previous occupation. This country today stands in need of more and better detectives than ever before in its history, and if one be inclined to doubt this statement, he need only pick up the morning newspaper of any city of any size and be convinced that this is true. Hundreds of crimes of all descriptions are committed daily, and statistics show that more than 50% of persons committing crimes go unmolested and unpunished. Besides, there are the thousands of employees on our various transportation systems, in banks, stores, and in mercantile establishments, who are daily committing thefts of various kinds from their employers, and whose nefarious operations are rarely uncovered. When one considers the actual number of thefts committed, one may wonder why such conditions exist, or why so many criminals can operate without detection. It is because of the lack of sufficient trained detectives to hunt down the criminals and to ferret out the crimes. It has been said that every criminal, no matter how careful he may be in his operations and regardless of the nature of his crime, will leave some trail or clue by which he may be detected. All good detectives will vouch for the truth of this statement. For the real detective no case is too complicated nor too difficult. More trained detectives are needed, and until we have them, undetected crimes and unpunished criminals will continue on the increase. Every large city, every corporation, transportation company, mercantile establishment, and manufacturing concern is constantly in need of detective service. There are thousands of concerns, also individuals, who are ever on the alert for the opportunity to employ good detectives. To the young man who may wish to connect himself with some reliable detective agency, it will be well to keep in mind the following: that when making application for such position he is very likely to encounter such inquiries as, "What can you do?" or "What do you know about detective work?" In order to secure a position in any line, it is essential that one have not only a talking knowledge, but also a working knowledge of the line. Careful study of what I shall set forth should enable any ambitious young man not only to secure a position as a private detective, but to "make good" as well, and if he so desires, to start and successfully conduct a detective agency of his own. Detective agencies. With regard to starting a private detective agency, laws pertaining to the granting of licenses to individuals and companies to engage in such business vary in almost all of our states. In order to engage in the business in some states it is necessary to secure and pay a business license, the rate per year being approximately the same as is paid by any other business concern. In some states, licenses to engage in private detective work and to conduct private detective agencies are granted only by the courts of the county in which it is proposed to establish the main office or headquarters of the agency. Ability and fitness to hold such licenses must be established before the court granting them. This usually is accomplished by the applicant having several persons of responsibility vouch for his good character, fitness, and ability. In some states, bond must also be furnished to the state as a guarantee against misuse of the privilege that such license affords. Where such licenses must be secured, I would advise that a reliable attorney be consulted. It must not be construed that every private detective must have a license issued in his name or secured by him or her in order to operate in the state wherein licenses are required. In such states, an agency must
Sample complete. Ready to continue?